This is the inequalities review problem 2. Which graph shows the solution to this inequality? My inequality is 44 is less than negative 12x plus 8. And I need to look through and figure out which of those graphs will match this. I can automatically eliminate 2 of them, just knowing that my inequality sign doesn't have a line under it. So I know without even working it out, my answer cannot be A and it cannot be B, because this would be greater than or equal to, and this one would be less than or equal to. They would need to have the line under the inequality symbol. So I know it will be either C or D, but I can't tell for sure which one it is because we might have to reverse our inequality sign when we work this out. So I'm just writing it here so I have space to work it out. 44 is less than negative 12x plus 8. So first I draw my line, then I find my variable. My variable is the x, and I know that I cancel out the number that is the constant or the one that's furthest away from x first. So I have to cancel out a positive 8, and to cancel out a positive 8, I subtract 8, which is the same as a negative 8. And just like an equation, whatever I do to one side, I do to both sides. On this side, I simplify, and 44 minus 8 is 36. On this side, the positive 8 and the negative 8 make 0, so I z that out, and I bring down my negative 12x. I never reverse the inequality sign when I add or subtract, so my inequality sign remains the same. So after the first step, I have 36 is less than negative 12x. Now, I still need to get x alone, so I have to cancel out the number that is with the x. Remember, that's called the coefficient, the number that is being multiplied by the variable. As I suggest, I would put my dot there, just to remind myself that is multiplication. So anytime you have a number that is right beside a variable, there is invisible multiplication right there. Because that helps me to remember that to cancel multiplication, I will need to divide. And I need to divide by the exact same number that was my coefficient. So I need to divide by a negative 12. On this side, when I simplify, 36 divided by negative 12 is negative 3. On this side, negative 12 divided by negative 12 is 1. But I don't need the 1x. I don't need the 1 in front of it, so I just bring my x down. And right here, since I divided by a negative, I do need to reverse the inequality. So instead of less than, it's now going to turn into greater than. So when I solved it, I now have negative 3 is greater than x. Many of you like to rewrite that with the variable on the left side, and you can do that, but remember, the alligator still has to eat the bigger number. So the inequality sign still needs to be open towards the negative 3. The x still needs to be smaller. So if you rewrite it, you will get x is less than -3. These two are the exactly same thing. This one says -3 is bigger than x. This one says x is smaller than -3. They mean the same thing. So I look at my answer choices. I already decided it was going to be an open circle because there's no line under my inequality. And I know that since x is smaller than -3, and smaller is always going to the left, that C is my correct answer. What this means is all of my correct answers, all of my correct solutions for x start at -3, but do not include -3. So -3 is not a correct answer. But then this dark arrow, that is your x's. So any x, any number that would be on this arrow is a correct solution for x, for this inequality.